If you watched my last video, you know that this is a journey for me. I don't have a homestead of my own yet. I don't have property. I am debt-free. I quit my job. I'll talk about that in another video. But I'm on this journey from the beginning, and you're getting in at the ground floor. Hello world, my name is Mickey. I'm on a homestead journey. I live in the great state of Texas with my dog Buckshot. Hopefully you watched my last video. If you did, you know I don't have property yet. I am debt free. I've paid off the house, the car, everything else, and I quit my job. I'll talk about that a bit more in another video. Right now I'm spending most of my time learning the techniques of homesteading. Spending lots of time studying how to plant from seed. I live in region 9A, so of course it's pretty hot here most of the year. It's middle of May right now and we're in the mid 80s, bright and sunny. It gets dry pretty early in the year, and for the past several years we've had intermittent droughts. So some other things that I'm thinking about that would be important to my homestead are water catchments. How might I set up some gutters and other ways to catch water off of roof or other types of structures that might be on the property. Nothing like good rainwater for your plants, right? Better than that chlorinated stuff that comes out of the faucet. Since I don't have property on my own, I'm taking the time to learn how to grow my own food, how to start a compost bin, what seeds should I buy, studying how to start an apiary, animal husbandry as best I can. I have to do this through other people, so really I'm hoping to connect with you and the other homesteaders on YouTube to learn from you. Something I'm doing a lot of right now is growing herbs. I really enjoy cooking with them as well, but I'm learning a lot growing them from seed. Now, believe it or not, I have terrible homeowners association rules here. I mean, I can't have chickens. I don't have the yard size to actually start an apiary. I could probably try to raise bees, but I really think that the neighbors with kids and everything would see a couple of them and just start spraying the air trying to kill any bee in the area, so not going to go for that. So other than that, I'll be volunteering at community gardens. There's one I'm already hooked up with, Katie Christian Ministries. They raise food for their food bank and mainly offer it to the homeless. So I'll have a video that shows their property. It's not that much. I mean, I don't even think they're growing in the size of a quarter acre. It's behind another church that's offered them use of their property, and we'll see. So here's the things I've already planted this year. Some doing well, some not doing well. Buckshot's really enjoying himself today. He loves a good sun bath. You enjoying life, boy? Don't let me bother you. Oh yeah? Yeah, so you can see here my flat leaf parsley came up, but between the parsley and the basil, that's all I got out of this first tray. I had some thyme in here as well, and it just didn't come up. I think I planted them too deep was the problem. Kept it all moist and everything every day, but didn't do so well. Here I'm pretty much finished with the dill. Still have one. I'm going to try this one in a pot. I've got a couple of others planted in the flower bed I've got over here, or with a raised bed that I've got. But I'm propagating this oregano. Can never have enough oregano. I'll show you that here in a second. But the old cilantro seeds that I had and the chive seeds that I had didn't come up. Don't know if I planted them too deep or they're just too old. I think they're from 2011. So let's go over here and you can see what I've got going on. These are rosemary I've got propagating from the front. I've got some huge rosemary bushes up front. We'll talk about that in another video. And this is some mint I'm propagating. Took it from the front as well. That mint really crawled around on me where I planted it originally out front. It moves where it creeps and goes where it likes to go. So you can see how long this one leg is, but it's coming back. It's doing okay. You can see on this one it looks dried and dead, but there's this little new growth, so I know it's going to come up. And then I've got some peppers in here that were just volunteers from my compost bin that I made. I'll show you that here in a minute as well, but these are just all volunteers. And then the dill that I told you about that I grew from seed, and it's doing really well. And then here today I'm transplanting this oregano from another pot. It was in this pot. It was hard to get it out because you can see how it's rounded. So it's hard to actually get it out. I had to dig it out. But I've got some more potting soil. I had to stop and go to the store, but I'll be finishing up with this transplant here in just a few minutes. So this will all be filled with flowers and with herbs and those pepper plants and anything else that comes along. Again, this is a journey for me, and this is how I'm learning right now, is by growing things myself, taking advantage of the little space that I have. You see my yard here is just really small, and I bought this house with a small yard on purpose, but now I wish I had a much bigger yard. Got my little fire pit I built here. And so over here is my compost bin that I made. Just a regular trash can. I drilled a bunch of holes in it. I don't know if you can see that. It might be a bit too bright, but drilled a bunch of holes in it, make sure it had plenty of air, and then I dump all my food scraps in here, all my vegetable and fruit and things like that. No meat, no bread, of course, but my shredder from my mail, I shred things. I put the shreddings in here, and any old potting soil that I have left over, some other clippings and things, a bunch of leaves and plants and stuff like that. I threw it all in here, and then I just use a fork to turn it over, and man, it's been great. And it's also awesome that I have a lot of lizards around here, and the lizards tend to come up this wall here and jump down into the compost bin and eat up all of the bugs, anything that comes in this area. The lizards like to come in here and take advantage of it. So It's really been awesome, and I can't wait to start to use this instead of spending money on compost and soil amendments and things like that. I made myself this little watering can. Yeah, I've seen watering cans anywhere from $5 to $25. They're just way too expensive. And I just took this iced tea container and drilled some holes in the top. I can't say it's free because I drank the tea out of it, but it sure was cheap. So here are the things I'm planting from seed. I've got some heirloom basil, some heirloom thyme, English thyme, some slow bolting dill, heirloom parsley, flatleaf parsley, and then I've got these old chives. These are the ones that are from 2011, so I'm going to try a different technique to try to get them to grow. We'll see. They didn't come up in my last planting. I'm going to try something different. And then some cilantro. They didn't come up either, but again, I've got a little technique that I'm going to try to get some of these to come up that are older. And then I've also got these beautiful flowers, some heirloom cosmos that attract butterflies, and zinnia, heirloom zinnia. These are gorgeous. Can't believe I used that word gorgeous. Please don't condemn me, guys. These are some marigolds and bachelor buttons to have some blue color. A lot of these are heirloom. Some black-eyed Susans. this is out front where the you can see the rosemary here. It's gone crazy. This is my my mint over here. The mint, it's funny, I actually planted the mint way back over here originally, and mint just crawls around to wherever it wants to be. So it veined off and jumped this gap. I don't know if you can see how wide the sidewalk is here leading to my front door, but I mean, it jumped over to this bed because it wasn't getting enough sun, and eventually I just let it kind of walk its way down into this part of the bed because it gets lots of sunshine here. And although it looks really kind of shabby at the moment, it'll be clipped back and nice and thick later. Sorry, we're in town, lots of noise. And this was originally 2 rosemary plants that were about the size of the rosemary that I was propagating up front. But here you can see, I mean, these are just, it's really kind of one main rosemary here. It's hard to see how big it is in this camera view, but it's just enormous. And I'd say probably about a total of 7 feet in length. A little bit of plumbago there as well in the front. So I'm real proud of this. I never water this. It just goes and goes and goes. Just planting a few plants in the backyard is a good learning experience. I've learned what depths to plant seeds, frequency of watering, transplanting things from one place to another. There's quite a bit I've learned just from taking on this task, making decisions about what seeds to use. And so I'm really enjoying growing herbs and flowers from seed. It's really a great way to educate myself on, kind of the ins and outs on planting, getting ready for my property. You can absolutely plant seeds too low in the or too shallow or too deep in the ground, and then they won't sprout, they won't come up. That's pretty much what I learned from this tray that I was showing you. When to use with propagating, when to use some root stimulator, what things don't even need root stimulator, like that the oregano and the mint. I haven't used any root stimulator. This is my first time to try propagating the rosemary, culinary rosemary. It grows so well here. I didn't use any root stimulator. I might try some, some others, but these here, they're doing pretty well, and I didn't use any root stimulator. So, work in progress. Sorry about the wind. It's so windy here. I think we got some storms coming in today, and of course, people are mowing their lawns everywhere. So, living in the big city, it's loud and noisy. So next time, hopefully I'll be taking a tour of the Katy Christian Ministries community garden, where they grow food for their food bank. I learned quite a bit from them. They have a much larger piece of property and a much larger variety of plants. So for now, I guess we're gonna sign off, but don't forget, happiness is the new wealth. Get that right, Buckshot. Oh, such good kisses. Bye.